Hey guys, it's Iborg709 coming at you again. I know it's been a little while since I've made anything, but I wanted to talk to you about the Destiny 2 prop replica here. It's the Sentinel Shield. It is the Titan Super in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. It is a pretty nice thing, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So first, I want to hit on the actual packaging and box and everything. Now, it is a Gamestop exclusive at the moment. I would not be surprised if you start seeing it at or on Amazon or other places like that. Same thing happened to the Galahorn here. It is a GameStop exclusive, but third-party sellers sell it on like Amazon mostly, sometimes eBay or whatever. But that right there is the box. The picture on the box is basically a 1-to-1 scale. I would say it's a tad bit larger than the actual prop, but it's just about a 1-to-1 scale. Pretty basic on the front, Destiny, the shield, all that stuff. On the back, and this is a large box, I have to say. On the back here, we've got a front and back of the shield, and then we've got kind of a basic description of what it is in-game up here, and then physically what it is. And it does say measures 23 inches in diameter, so that would be across here. Perfect for cosplay or display. Hyper-realistic paint design, designed and sculpted with detail in mind. So it's definitely meant to be on the cosplay side, in my opinion. I mean, I can't imagine there are that many people that want to display this on the wall, but I mean, maybe there are. I could see it. It definitely looks pretty cool. I could see it mounted on the wall, but we'll get there in a sec. So, obviously, that's the physical thing. It's got the Titan symbol on the front here, just like in-game. In-game, it's kind of hard to tell a lot of this detail because of the lighting. So in-game, when you pop your super, your Sentinel Shield super, everything's very purple, including the shield. The shield looks mostly purple. You kind of have to get really close to a Sentinel to tell that this is even a metal color. So in that, it's kind of not super close to the game, but only because of practicality. Like, there's no way they're going to get that purple, shiny, glowiness onto a prop replica. It's just, practically, there's no way it's going to work. Which brings us to this rim here. So that is how they tried to do the kind of purple glow as a practical effect. So in-game, the shield ends right about here on the rim. It's a little closer, right about here. And then there's a glowing effect that comes off of the shield. So they added this purple, I would say it's a soft plastic or rubber to the edges to try to get that glowing effect as best as they could. The front of the shield here is all one molded piece of plastic, and then definitely painted and roughed up a bit. On the back here, it's definitely two identical molded pieces of plastic. So there's a top and a bottom here, and just a center seam line in the middle. And my guess is they're just two of the same thing mirrored for the top and bottom. And then we have a Velcro strap and a handle here, so when you're wearing it, you can hold it. For cosplay purposes, the Velcro strap especially is most likely going to be too small. I'm working on a Titan cosplay right now. You can actually see the helmet right there. It's in progress, but I was wearing one of my arm gauntlets that I haven't quite finished yet, just to see if I could wear the gauntlet and the Velcro strap here, and the Velcro strap is just too small. I mean, it fits a human hand or arm just fine, but the actual strap is going to be too small to go around most larger gauntlet pieces. So I'm going to have to make a new strap for that, but there are just kind of two slots here and here at the top and bottom where the strap goes through, so it's pretty basic and easy to make yourself. The handle is just another molded piece of plastic with 4 screws on it. This is where I'm going to get into mounting purposes. If you are going to try to mount this at all, you're going to have to take this off. I was putting this on the wall just to see what it would look like if I mounted it, and it's sat totally lopsided because of the handle here. And you can't like hang it from the handle because then you're sideways if you're hanging it this way. It needs to be hung that way. So you're gonna have to take the screws out here, here, and there. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks like they're just really basic Phillips head screws, so I'm 90% sure that's possible. For cosplay purposes, I'm also thinking I might pull this handle off and just have a strap and a magnet on my gauntlet, just because, again, I tried the gauntlet on, and where this handle fits without a gauntlet, it's fine, it's comfortable, but again, with, you know, a gauntlet and a couple inches of foam, I'm having to kind of, you know, bend my hand or my wrist backwards to be able to grip this handle at all. So I'm thinking I might either just pull it off completely or try to make my own or something like that. But I mean, that covers the general physical look of it. I have to say, I think I am also going to try to put some LEDs around this edge to give it a little bit more of a glowing effect, which for what it is, I think honestly McFarlane could have added that pretty easily, added just a light switch and a couple of LEDs along these plastic rims, and that would have upped the quality and just general value so much more. Which brings us to our next point, price. So it is right now $80, $79.99 at GameStop. I'm gonna say that feels a little high. It's, you know, it's a big prop, it's 1-to-1, so it's basically a shield size. I mean, you know, holding it, it's a pretty darn big thing, but I think that's the only upside, or the only reason that they would make it that expensive. It is practically just molded pieces of plastic screwed or glued together. I mean, it is high detail or whatever, but honestly the high detail is just the fact that it looks like it was a molded gray piece, and then they went over it and kind of dry brushed it with silver. And then on the actual mold, there are places where there's like scratches and creases and stuff like that in the metal or whatever it is. But I mean, high detail is iffy in my opinion at best. The actual scratches themselves don't have any detail in them, so I mean, if you're trying to do a scratch, you should do it and then detail the scratch so it's a little bit darker, or at least on the outside of the scratch is a little bit darker, so it gives a little bit of 3D depth to it. Otherwise you get, I mean, I honestly didn't even know these were here until I was really looking close at it after pulling it out of the box. And then, same thing on the back. There's paint and stuff like that, but there's not even dings or scratches on the back. It's just the dry brushing paint. So $80 feels a bit excessive. I would say 50 to 60 it would have been a better price point in my opinion, but that's also comparing it to the Galahorn here, which was $150, and I mean, I personally ended up spending closer to $200 because I live in California, and California would not even ship it to me, so I had to ship it to somebody else and have them ship it back to me. And this thing, not to say it feels like a piece of junk, but again, it's just a bunch of molded plastic. So I think these high price points are more just physical size price points at this point than actual detail price points. I would say if you bought this from an Etsy dealer or somebody that you commissioned for a cosplay or something like that, $80 for this probably would have been okay, because that person's hand making it. They're doing a lot of things that a large production company would not have had to do. Whereas with these, I mean, these are mass produced. They're cranking them out. They're everywhere. There's just no reason for it to be quite that expensive. So I suppose in conclusion, if you're a cosplayer or just a really massive Destiny fan, it might be worth picking it up. But honestly, I was speaking to the manager at this GameStop who I literally helped her pull the first one out of the box. And she said that most likely stores will not sell this very well, and they'll probably go on clearance. So I would say give it a couple of months, let the DLC hype die down a little bit from Destiny 2, and it will probably go on clearance. I think they started like a 20% clearance or something like that, which would make it closer to about $65 or so. and then maybe pick it up. But even then, I would be reluctant at best, unless you're buying it for another specific reason. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It does look pretty damn cool. If you guys like said content, be sure to hit me up. Iborg709 is my social media on quite literally everything. And I'll catch you guys next time.